What is up, guys? I'm finally here. Sorry that I'm like 2 or 3 minutes delayed. I'm always trying to figure out a way to improve my setup, and yeah, it wasn't working out for me. I hear that some of you guys mention in the comments how you can't hear me sometimes. So I'm thinking, what if I remove the cover from the phone and maybe that will help for the mic to have a broader type of coverage, I guess, because I feel like the cover may block it sometimes, and I just don't know from the way I hold it sometimes. So, anyways, guys, today I really didn't sit here with a plan. I mean, there's plenty of stuff to discuss, but this is primarily just for me to sit here and hang out with you guys. In case you just wanted to ask me something and I go over it if I know about it or not. But really, in my life thus far, there's really nothing new to report. I'm still at work and just living life like always. I feel so much better too. I know that I was telling you guys about how I wasn't feeling too well in the past couple of weeks, but I can say that I'm at least 97% well now, which is, close to 100. But I say 97% because I still have some weird feelings here and there. But anyways, by tomorrow, I should be feeling my best. Let's see. The weather is still terrible, so it won't surprise me if the stream gets interrupted because conveniently it has to happen when I schedule something like this, But, anyways, I have faith that nothing bad will happen. Um, let's see. What else? There's really nothing out there for me to mention. I haven't gone to see any movies, nor have I checked out any of the movies that you guys have left comments left in the comments for me to check out because reasons. But I am trying to catch up on the reading materials that you guys have also posted for me. But seriously, for me to have time to read something, it's like, why is it so hard for me? I have my phone with me all the time. I can look this up, but for some reason I just don't, or it's tough to get me reading sometimes. But it doesn't mean I have forgotten about you, so you just have to trust me. Like, I'm getting to it slowly but surely. Um, and yeah, other than that, really nothing much on my end. How's everyone doing? Um, any of you guys having any exciting plans for Valentine's Day? I really don't. I made a video about it last year about my feelings on it. And honestly, to me, every single day is Valentine's Day. I'm one of those people, pretty simplistic. If I want to do something, I just go ahead and do it. I don't need to wait for the calendar to tell me what to do, when to do, and how to do it. Like, oh yeah, you have to go get dinner on Valentine's Day. It's crazy. 50 Shades of Grey was the best horror movie I ever saw. I think I sense some sarcasm in that. Like the best horror movie you've seen. Are you legit or are you just trolling? And the reason I ask that is because I don't hear anything good about 50 Shades. Like nobody has said that that's their favorite movie or they loved it. So that's why I'm asking, are you okay? You just confirmed that it's sarcasm. Okay, good. Because seriously, sometimes I'm gullible like that. So that's why I'm like, really? You loved it? I must say you're one of a kind. So please tell me what makes it so great. I have not seen any of 50 Shades stuff. I hear it's horrible. Normally, when people say something is horrible, I might check it out still if it piques my interest. But that particularly, I'm like, I'm not into romantic movies like that or movies that are supposed to be like erotic or something. It's just not, it's not my type of film. My type of film, as you can probably tell by the mess in my room, would be superhero movies and just action stuff, like I've seen, what else have I seen? See, it's been such a long time since I've watched. any sequels of stuff. So like I want to say I am pretty up to date with the Matrix stuff. I did see all of those movies. Harry Potter, of course, I saw all of those movies, but I only read part of the third book because Prisoner of Azkaban was my favorite. And then when it comes to video games, you guys know I did not go beyond the PS2. So if you're not gonna talk to me about Dragon Ball Z or Metal Gear Solid or Devil May Cry or Ace Combat 4 and 5, I will not know what you're talking about. But yeah, you guys, my scope on movies and video games is pretty limited. Um, it's not something that I invested much of my time on. And if I did, I stuck to certain genres. Like, say, for the PlayStation, I was into Grand Theft Auto stuff, but I only messed with Vice City and San Andreas. And I watched some of the ones that followed it, but I cannot say that I know what the plot is about. And it's been a while. I like Devil May Cry. Yes, I like Devil May Cry. Virgil is my boy. But it's too bad that, hopefully everyone in here knows about Devil May Cry and you don't mind spoilers. But if you mind spoilers, then mute me for a second until like I wave at you. But yeah, I was just so sad that we didn't get much Virgil going on because I loved him in his natural form, but then when he got messed up by Mundus, I was like, no, I wanted more natural Virgil. And then DMC, Devil May Cry stuff, I really didn't dig it too much because it didn't really feel like the Devil May Cry that I just love, which Devil May Cry 2 is, let's not even talk about that. It failed. I didn't even complete the game, but the mechanics felt terrible. The plot wasn't intriguing like the predecessors, like Devil May Cry 1. Um, and it just didn't impress me. Now, when Devil May Cry 3 came out, I was like, amazing. Keep this up. Devil May Cry 4. I watched a game playthrough, but I vaguely remember the story because that game was just long for me. But I do know sort of what happened in it, which I was hoping that Virgil would appear, somehow. But he didn't. Only his sword did. Oops, I guess I should have given you a spoiler warning. But anyways, yes, Devil May Cry. I love it. I think it's fantastic. I know that the folks who made Resident Evil are also behind Devil May Cry, but I don't care for Resident Evil. I think Devil May Cry is the way to go when it comes to terrifying stuff. All right, let me catch up with whatever you guys are saying. Good morning. Do you think going to the movies is a dying pastime? Online streaming seems to be the way of the future. Oh, wonderful that you asked that. For me, personally, I said this on a video. I think the title of the video was Things That I Consider a Waste of Money or a Waste of Time. One of those. Um, I do think that going to the movies is definitely not as popular anymore for two reasons, really. One is, as you mentioned, the comfort of home. Like, if you buy this really big TV, it's like you have a big enough screen. And when you're at home, you can have all the snacks that you want at an affordable rate. And if you need to go to the bathroom, you can pause it and you don't have to like walk what feels like a mile to go to the bathroom or suffer having to hold going to the bathroom. Additionally, people these days, like the average person, really doesn't have the money to be spending like that if they are responsible people. Um, and what I mean by that is that tickets are expensive, movie tickets are expensive, but I also understand that they're probably getting expensive because not as many people are going to the movies. In my personal experience, when I go to the movies on a weekend and there is, say, a superhero movie coming out, I'm like, are you sure that the cinematics industry is suffering? Because there is just a load of people up here. So I don't see how you are suffering with sales. I would assume that weekends are where your sales are driven, right? But yes, I do believe that it's a dying pastime. And also because us millennials are the ones that are reaching that age where you take people to the movies or you hang out at the movies and everything, we just don't have that kind of money, most of us. So we opt for finding a more cost effective way of having a movie night type of date. Me personally, the only reason I go to the movies is because my boyfriend takes me or invites me. But in my personal case, I do not find the movies to be all that exciting. I'm not very fond of them like I used to be. When I was a kid, well, every Friday and every Saturday I was guaranteed to be at the movie theater with my mom and or my brother. But little by little we withdrew from that because we just grew out of it. I personally grew out of it. I also don't seem to have the time like that anymore, especially when my weekends are compromised and I have mad early shifts. I could go to a movie playing in the afternoon, but usually in the afternoons in on the weekdays I'm busy anyway. So that's why you guys rarely see me streaming any earlier than 5 o'clock for like 30 minutes, and then maybe closer to 9 p.m. I may stream a little something for about an hour tops, and then I have to go to bed. So, am I sad that people don't go to the movies like that anymore? More for the children. I personally thought that going to the movie theater was a glorious experience. But if it's in decline right now, I don't mind it because when I grew up, I really understood the meaning of the movies, which is really a massive business. So I'm like, just how useful is it to go to the movies? It's not educating me unless it's a real documentary with integrity that's trying to tell you stuff based on a true story. But I can look that up at any time at my own convenient time. Sometimes the movies have a weird schedule, and I don't want to feel like I have to accommodate my life around it because it's entertainment. I don't need the movies to be entertained like that. So, anyways, I guess I really rambled on that one, but that was a good question. It deserved to have a video of its own, but I just didn't think about it. Such a beautiful woman. Thanks a lot, you fearless nation. Yeah, sarcasm. Don't waste your money on things just to see if they are interesting. Make them work for it. If you want a good laugh, watch Sharknado 5. I nearly pissed myself from laughter. I have heard of Sharknado, but I have never seen any of that. And yeah, I rambled about Devil May Cry already. These days are Japan's anime way better to watch than any Hollywood movie. I have to agree because some folks have been telling me about some anime stuff, and I'm like, sure, I'll watch whatever I can. And I'm usually hooked to like a couple of episodes until, time cuts that short for me, and I'm like, all right, I'll catch up with it. The newer thing that I had been exposed to was One Punch Man. And it was exciting because I never thought of a concept like that before. You're like so incredibly powerful that you just punch someone once and you defeat them and nobody can defeat you. It seems, I can see that guys struggle because it's like, wow, I'm living this life where I'm invincible like that. Nothing is a challenge. Life is just boring. I also remember watching the episode where he was um he was stressed about making it to the supermarket at a certain time over something. I forget. It's been a minute since I saw it. I'm all about Devil May Cry. Dante is the shit. I've played the fourth one. I like playing with Nero in the game. You know what? I thought that Nero was gonna be a relative or something. Like I strongly considered he might be Virgil's child or something, but nah, he just turned out to be a who was he again? Anyways, but yeah, I have a Devil May Cry poster there, and I would love to show you, but I'm afraid that this thing is gonna tip over, and I won't be able to get it back to hook the way I have it. In the director's cut for DMC for Virgil is playable. I saw that. I was excited because it took me back to how I felt when I played Devil May Cry 3. Oh crap! See, that's the cover. That's why I have to remove it. Um, Nello Angelo Virgil, he's cool, but he doesn't really have much of a personality, because he's just a possessed version of Virgil. So it was cool that we had him in Devil May Cry um, 3 so that we could see sort of how he manifests like his own personality. But it was so short lived, you guys. That is part of my adolescent trauma. The fact that I did not get enough Virgil. Like, give a sister some Virgil. But, anyways. Let's see. I'm lost. Okay. So about my Valentine's Day, I get a really nice treat for the person I love. Oh my god, you guys. That reminds me. Today I was asking some colleagues around, for the folks who were single or the folks who were married, I was going around and asking them, um, hey, if you had a girlfriend or or if you have a wife, whatever, what would be your ideal Valentine's Day gift? Because I can tell that my boyfriend is going to get me flowers. And he knows how I feel about flowers. I appreciate it because they're nice, they smell good, and he's thinking about me, etc. But honestly, flowers are boring. So I told him, you can get me a juicy burger instead, and I'll be happier. Or a chocolate bar, the one that I like, and I'll be happier. Or you can get me a milkshake, and I'll be happier. But I don't want to impose on him what to get me. He should get me whatever gives him a good feeling right here. But I told him the thing about me and flowers is I feel terrible that they get cut like that just for a commercial movement, right? But also, they tend to die on me. I am the worst person at planting or taking care of flowers. Do not leave your plants or flowers with me. They will die. So you can leave me your dog, you can leave me your cat. Your child, I don't think I'm ready for that. But don't leave me your plants, all right? They will die. So a colleague of mine told me something interesting. He was like, I would like her undivided attention. And I was like, you know what? You have a point. But unfortunately, in my case, even if I appear to be busy, I am being attentive of my boyfriend. But normally, usually, I do the very best that I can to anticipate that he is coming over so that I make myself available to avoid someone feeling that way, like feeling like I'm not giving you attention. So while it was kind of devastating that he said that, because I tend to be sensitive about people just telling me that they feel like an outcast or lonely or something, I'm like, I'm sorry that you're going through that. But at the same time, I'm glad that he mentioned it because it helped me to see that something as simple as just paying attention goes a long way. Like, people observe that, and it's something that I just naturally do. I like to give you my undivided attention, but this day and age, I have noticed how people aren't focused anymore. So, while it was nice for him to tell me that, it's like, that's not helping me with the cost of the day, you know? So, but I ultimately decided that I'll get him a gift card from somewhere that I know he shops a lot. Like, I have multiple choices. So I can either do small amounts on those separate places or just give him a more generous gift card on one particular place. I guess I should do a gift card on the more pricey place that he may shop at, and that should be better rewarding. But anyways, guys, there's my rambling from a story from work today. Let's see. I bought me tickets for Apocalyptica concert. That is awesome. I do not recall much about them. Like it's been, yeah, it's been ages. In fact, I can't even think of any of what they sound like, so I would have to look that up. Will almost miss this even after saying I wouldn't miss it for the world. Well, Michael, you made it on time. Good job. I get to check you off from the roll call. There is no roll call, guys. So, for me, myself, and I. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. Last time I went to the movies, I saw It. The remake was more entertaining than scary. If you are talking about the one that came out last year, which, yeah, that should be the other It movie. Did it come out last year or earlier this year? I don't even remember. But, anyways, oh my god. That movie, I thought it was great, but I will never get over the scene where he's in the effing sewer and then he drools and his eyes keep changing from blue to yellow and his teeth. Oh, yeah. That movie, yeah. It's like you said, it was entertaining because that boy with the glasses, was his name Richie? Anyways, he was hilarious. I thought he was my favorite character. And then there's the guy who has like the asthma issues. Um, that was pretty awesome. I loved the cast. They were amazing, beautifully shot, and everything. But yeah, you guys, when it comes to scary movies, I guess I have built up a strong stomach for them because I used to stay away from horror movies. Um, my mom discouraged me from watching movies like that. She was always like, you can watch horror movies, but I would rather you don't because, like I was little and she was afraid that some of those might give me nightmares. And she had reasons to because you guys remember the movie Castaway with my boy Tom Hanks? Well, you guys remember that scene where there is an effing body floating beside some stone or something in the ocean? Oh, something about seeing that decomposing body messed me up when I was younger. And I had recurring images of that for a week. So that, yeah, I guess that's what made her be more sensitive about what I watch and whatnot. Because for some reason, I didn't have much of a stomach for that. So, which movie is that from? This is from Castaway. Um, I forget who directed it, but it came out in 2003 or 4 or 2001, something like that. It has Tom Hanks on it. But yeah, guys, something about seeing a decomposing body messed me up. So after that, I went years without watching a scary movie. But then my reintroduction to a scary movie was The Conjuring 2, which I happened to be vlogging by the time I did this. So I made a review on it. And yeah, that movie gave me those uneasy feelings of what's going to happen to my main character, is he really going to get hurt or this and that? And, but but it was good. I missed the first one, so I keep meaning to watch it, but I have forgotten, to tell you the truth. I also watched The Visit, which had some disturbing elements to it. Like it got gross, but it's interesting. And then there was the what is it? The second Annabelle movie. What's it called? Creation. Anyways, it's the newer one where they had a bunch of kids, and I think it was an all girl camp type of deal. That movie was great, and it made me feel uneasy because I liked the girl who had like the short hair and was friends with the girl who ended up possessed because she had guts. It's like no matter what, she was determined to do something about that doll, and she tried to, toss it into the well, but it came back in a terrible form. But, at least she was doing something about it, whereas the adults were weak on that aspect. Well, I mean, this other lady was kind of like handicapped because she had her like half of her face got tore up by that entity. So, anyways, but I thought that movie was good. Um, I also saw Lights Out, which it was a very well done movie, super creative. I would have never thought about using a blind guy and how this person's other senses are supposed to be sharper because he's blind. And didn't he also have like a military experience? Maybe he did. So, you're in this house thinking that you have an edge because this person cannot see, but it turns out that they're more dangerous than the average person because they have their house wired in a way that you're just trapped. And then, once again, spoiler warning. Every time I talk about movies, I have to talk about spoilers because otherwise I just suck at it. But but that boy who ended up dying from falling into this glass that shattered or something. It's like we thought that's when he died, but it turns out he was alive, and then he decides to show up and he ultimately gets killed by the man. I think he got what happened to him? Did he get shot or something? Anyway, something happened to him, and I'm like, "What? Dude, you were supposed to survive, but you ended up getting killed off, you know?" I love that because I was not expecting that. And movies where I cannot anticipate what's going to happen really stand out for me. Because the thing about me and movies is this is happening to me a lot with Dragon Ball Super. So I watch it and I'm like, okay, I can sort of see where it's going. I can see where it's going. See where it's going. I get frustrated. So when a movie goes completely against what I was thinking, it impresses me. So that is why I liked Lights Out. Um, or sorry, the movie that I'm describing is Don't Breathe. I'm sorry. That whole stuff that I talked about is Don't Breathe. Lights Out is the one that I remember someone lit. And if you hear something, it's because there's a freaking helicopter hovering over here. But, anyways, Lights Out was kind of disturbing, but I vaguely remember it. All I remember is that, of course, when you would turn off the lights, this freaky thing would come up. But yeah, it wasn't that memorable for me. Don't Breathe, I will remember probably 40 years from now still. But I feel like horror movies are trying to get better, but I guess after the 90s and 80s stuff, people have an issue with nostalgia. So maybe that's why we tend to not be able to fully appreciate newer movies better. Let me know if you agree with what I just said because like I said, I don't watch that many movies to really be saying such a statement, but if I try to analyze people's psychology, that is what I believe happens. All right, so let's see where I left off. Okay. Um. Wow, I really Let's see. Movie tickets are expensive. It's kind of shocking and makes people like myself question, is it worth it? Thank you for your view. Um, I remember asking my boyfriend about it, and he said, literally, I know that it is a waste of time, but he likes the experience of going to the movie theater, like the act of picking me up, driving, finding a spot, buying the ticket, maybe getting snacks. Usually we don't get snacks because we have dinner before that, so we're like yummy in the tummy. But sometimes we do fall victim to, the smell of that venomous like venomous popcorn. But like I said, he likes the experience. Something about just going out of the house, I guess. But for me personally, I don't care. Like, because movies don't really contribute big time to me, I just cannot see myself finding it essential to be investing in a movie ticket like that? So like I said, it's also difficult times for most people. So you really have to be as responsible as you can with whatever little bit you have. So I would encourage everybody to save up as much as you can. And if you can treat yourself to the movies, um, try planning it ahead of time. Say, we are anticipating the Black Panther. We are not going to see it immediately, of course, because everybody is thinking about that. But if you really want to go to the movies to see it, at least in my city, they have a separate movie theater which they show movies from months ago for way cheaper. So sometimes we do that if there's a movie that we ain't too hyped about, but we're curious about. So, for me, movies are never going to be an essential in my life. So if you ask me, Zam, did you see this? I'll probably say, so, yeah, movie theater rocks. And like I said, when I was little, it was exciting. That was my joint. But now it's like, meh. Dinner and a movie is a great way to kill two birds. Then they shove PC down our throat for too much money. Nope. Yeah, that too. It's like, when it comes to me and watching movies, I would rather rent it because it's it's cheap, and also it's more comfortable to watch it from a DVD player than using the computer. And I know that you can hook some kind of cable to the TV to make your computer display on the TV, but I'm not tech savvy like that, so I have yet to figure that out with my computer and my laptop. But now the laptop that I have doesn't even have the port for the cable that I know it needs to be shown. And my TV doesn't have that Bluetooth compatibility. So, yeah, that's why I tend to not do movies online like that. My boyfriend has a Netflix subscription, but I never feel like Netflixing anything. Like I said, I'm just not keeping track of movies like that. Only the Marvel and DC stuff because I have influences. But yeah, you guys, it's very rare that I see a commercial for a movie and I'm like, I have to go see it. Nah, that's not me. Where does that hair come from? It's so wavy. Are you in part Persian or Egyptian? You know what? I don't even know. I just know that in my family, most everybody has straight to wavy hair, but I guess I inherited this from my daddy because he is black. Movie Pass gives you unlimited movies once a day for 10.90 a month. I've never heard of that. What's up? Hey Astro, Buddhist. Nero is Dante and Virgil's brother. All right, that's what I felt, but I haven't watched DMC4 or like reviewed the story ever since it came out back in 2008. So yeah, Chocolate, you're the ideal girlfriend. Thanks a lot. Dragon Ball Z. Hi, hi, Stefan. Hi, Georgie. The guy with the stutter. It reminds me so much of me, except that my stutter is not as severe anymore. My favorite part was when that bully guy with the hair, um, he was like, "You say something." I knew that he was gonna say that during that scene, like you say something. But it's interesting because he said it way better than my brain filled in the anticipating gap, you know. But yeah, it was amazing. I loved it. Try the Serbian film. Which movie is that from? Supernatural scary is better than gore horror. Caps on. Serbian film has good music. Yes, I tend to be very, very attentive to the score of a movie. Like sometimes I anticipate the soundtrack of a movie more than the movie itself. Like Metal Gear Solid is awesome. Like the gameplay and the story is great, but sometimes I would have more of an excitement for the music than the game itself because Metal Gear Solid 2 to me has the best soundtrack of any video game ever. You don't have to agree with me, but I'll still believe that Metal Gear Solid 2 has the best soundtrack. Conjuring 2 is best horror movie of the last few years. I can see that. Serbian film is the best life scarring movie you can watch. Candyman, classic, scary. No, got no ghost and too much sodomy for me. Sorry, fella. Would you would recommend to watch it with your family? No, The Shining is great too. I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it. Clockwork Orange is good too. You guys are morbid. I'm happy to admit I like family movie with happy endings, flowers and bees, and you get that warm, furry feeling. The last movie that I watched like that was I was looking through my box of DVDs and VHSs that I had from back in the day, and I watched Stuart Little. I was like, I don't remember. I remember scenes in the movie, but I don't remember why it was happening. So I rewatched it, and I thought, wow, this movie, you can tell. I feel like the transitions do not transitioning from scene to scene doesn't really go smoothly because you can see like the moment where maybe the director says action and there's like that second delay and they go, oh yeah, I brought my PlayStation, this and that, and I'm like, oh, I hate that. It makes me cringe because I it sort of distracts me from the seamless experience that movies are supposed to have between scene to scene. But did I think it was a good movie? Put it this way, it's not terrible compared to what I remember it from my childhood. So during my childhood, I thought it was cool, a freaking rat and a cat that can talk, but like it's not my idea of wow, this movie gets me hyped. What other family movies have I seen? Shoot, I don't know. You guys would have to tell me because it might take me a minute. I have seen so many clips from The Shining in my life. I believe I watched the whole movie. What's the name of that movie? I want to watch this movie that has this really terrifying dog in it. What's the name of that dog? I think the name of the dog is the name of the movie. Come on, Zam. I forget. But anyways, you guys, it's I know that there's a scene where this bloody dog is terrifying these two people inside a car. It's a boy and I think his mom or something. But what's the name of that freaking dog? I forgot it. I watched the clips recently, so it's so irritating that I can't remember right now. But yeah, guys, something that you must know about me and be incredibly patient with me is that my movie retention sucks. It is the worst. So you'll figure that out about me as time goes by. That's why I make movie reviews, because I'm trying to like make the thoughts recurrent in my brain to remember that better. Yes, Cujo. That's the dog. Um, but yeah, I don't know why I forget movies as soon as I watch them. Probably because I like to learn non-fictional stuff. So I would hate to accidentally watch a movie and take it like it's a fact from real life and not distinguish the fictional element to it. So that's one of those things that as a kid I did not really healthily transition through. So I should be able to distinguish that as an adult, but I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I watch something in a movie and I'm like, oh yeah, that can totally happen in real life. But it turns out I'm embarrassing myself. Oh man. Um, let's see. Shining. Hey, Ollie. If we are talking horror movies, your next is a pretty good recent example. I've never heard of it. Nope. Least I think that's what it was called. Ah, there you go. Well, with the new movies, they are getting better at the scary with supernatural horror anyway. Oh, going to the movies is one of my favorite things to do. If I can find a friend to go with, might catch Black Panther later. You go, dude. That is exactly what I wanted to hear from you. Because Black Panther is definitely at the top of my movie relative urgency list. I love soundtracks too, and well, I don't know if Metal Gear Solid is the best one, but it's definitely a contender. I think I agree, but I also like a lot of others. Devil May Cry had a good soundtrack. Metal Gear. What else had a good soundtrack? The Dragon Ball Z games, the Budokai games. Oh my god. Yeah, I cannot forget those. I feel like Budokai 3 had the best music. And I say that because I feel like I have that CD. Yeah, I feel like they released um, a CD. I know that I have a way of playing it somehow. Or maybe my cousin got it for me back in the day somehow. I don't know. But I know that I have a disc with all those songs, and it's amazing. I also got my hands on the document of Metal Gear Solid 2, which is not really a game. It's it you get to see the character models and how everything was made and pictures. So yeah, the documentation of Metal Gear Solid 2, like how it got made. And it's cool. I was bummed out that some concepts did not make it to that game. But anyway, that's 2001 matters. You should check out Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. The soundtrack to that game is fantastic. Hmm. I had a tab of you open. I was planning to watch later, was watching it now, and you happen to be live. I haven't seen your videos before. Well, welcome, and I hope you enjoy yourself. Okay, Budokai 3 definitely had the best music. Shame about the plagiarism scandal. I'm glad that you mentioned that because I totally forgot about that. But yeah, when I say Budokai 3, that soundtrack with the plagiarism is what I'm talking about. Because I took a slight listen to the replacement soundtrack, and yeah, no, it sucked. It sucked. Um, when they released it in the soundtrack was nowhere near as good. Oh, you're right. There you go. It's the world without man, Final Fantasy. I did not mess with Final Fantasy. I watched a few minutes of one of my childhood friends watching it, but I never got into it. The only thing about Final Fantasy that I remember is I don't even remember what number there is because there's 7,000 Final Fantasies, but I remember the cover of the PS2 game where he is like at the beach or something in the ocean, and then he's on his side and he has his sword drawn, and he's wearing yellow. I think, yeah. I don't know about anything about Final Fantasy. God of War, guys. Who has played it? I have played the second one, but I never owned them. I played them by taking turns with my cousin as we played through the main quest. But yeah, dun, dun, da, 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 dun, dun, da, da, dun. I still remember the. I think that's the theme song. It's kind of catchy. I'm looking charming. Thanks a lot. That was Final Fantasy X. That's a pretty good one. Oh my god, I was going to guess Final Fantasy X because I feel like I saw an X at the end of Final Fantasy, but my memory was kind of clouded. I wasted a good portion of my life to. Is that Final Fantasy 8? I have no recollection of what the eighth one might be. But yeah, Ollie, I did hear that the 10th was a pretty good game. Maybe you should play through it. If you haven't already, maybe you did and I missed it. I bought the God of War collection. It's worth it. I would recommend for people to buy it. It was a fun game. The mechanics for it being a PS2 game, in my opinion, were impressive. So back in the day, I was debating with my cousin who likes what better. The battle was between God of War and Devil May Cry. Of course, looking back, God of War is technically better, but the story of Devil May Cry, for me personally, was a little more intriguing. But God of War was more complex of a game because although it's a linear game, I feel like you have more options to explore, whereas Devil May Cry is obviously linear. Like, there is no way that you get lost playing a Devil May Cry game unless you are extremely new to it and you don't recognize objects that you can interact with. That's the only way I can think of you getting lost in Devil May Cry. But other than that, yeah, no, no. God of War is more time consuming for sure. Now, if you play Devil May Cry in the Dante Must Die level, I'm done. It would take me forever to to beat some of those stages. Devil May Cry 1, I personally never beat it in Dante Must Die. My cousin did it for me. But it's cool. You really want to go and have a crack at it because what did I do? Oh no, I think I accidentally blocked someone because a window came up and I tried to narrow it down. And hold on, let me investigate because I don't want to mute someone who's not doing anything bad, you know? Um, show, show live message. Oh my god, I don't even know how I did it. All right, I cannot identify who's missing from the chat. Oh, I see what I did. I deleted one of Ollie's messages. Unhide this user. Yeah, Ollie. Okay, Ollie, you should be back and able to post again. Yeah, sorry about that. I did not mean to mute you at all. So yeah. Anyway, try sending something just to make sure that I really enabled you again. But anyways, what was I saying? So yeah, Dante Must Die is no joke. And then after you beat Dante Must Die, there's Heaven or Hell, which you pretty much one punch man your way through the game. So if you get hit once, you die. But if you hit the enemies once, you die. On Devil May Cry 3, the only level I had problems with in Heaven or Hell was in the Leviathan's guts because there's like acid on the floor, and if you don't have your double trigger to be able to fly, you will have a miserable time trying to cross that path, you know? So yeah, but yeah, Devil May Cry was a great experience in all levels. Final Fantasy has a great soundtrack. I've never listened to it. I had the God of War and recently got 3 for the PS4. Is Bethesda releasing a new game this year? I don't know. Hi, hope you have a fantastic Valentine's Day. Thanks a lot. Um, oh, and Bearded Viking, I saw your comment. I'm not sure that I got to it, but I enjoyed really reading it. Thanks a lot. Eighth has Leon Squall in it. I just saw some gamer went paralyzed while playing too long. I probably wouldn't game 30 hours straight. Okay, that is madness. I think the longest gaming shift I ever did was 8 hours long. Like I remember waking up at around 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. and finishing between 4 or 5. And that was playing Metal Gear Solid 2 because I was determined to beat the VR missions. I never did. Like, I still have to complete the Tuxedo Snake missions and Naked Raiden ones, I think. Um, Dang it, Ollie, I feel so bad that you deleted something or that you typed something and then I deleted it. Um, yep, Final Fantasy 8 with Squall, the main character who was kind of a pathetic young boy, as he mentioned, had a recurring dream of his sister on the beach. Ollie said he was going to try to game for Final Fantasy for 30 hours straight to set record. Okay, thanks for telling me what he said. Um, have you played Skyrim? I have not, but I have heard a lot about it. I play with my hair like you do too. Yeah, for me, I don't even know why I do that. It's like a nervous habit. I normally if I'm having a normal conversation with like face to face people, which you guys are technically face to face, but you know what I'm saying. I'm not like this. I have my mannerisms still, but I don't remember touching my hair so much. So I don't know. I should have tied it. I was just saying, I was thinking about trying for a world record on Final Fantasy X. The rules allow for a 10-minute break every hour, which carries over. So if I plan carefully and schedule breaks, maybe. I don't think I could do 10-minute breaks like that. I need to have time to eat and live and shower and live and rest my eyes for more than 10 minutes and snack, drink water, and live. And yeah, no, I couldn't do it. See, when I tried playing my PlayStation games again, I tried, was it last year or the year before? Let's say 2016. That sounds more accurate. I was able to play Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 for no more than 10 minutes. I did not bother playing Metal Gear Solid because I wasn't in the mood for it. But guys, you need to understand that I played so much Metal Gear Solid during my teenage years and adolescence, or excuse me, during my childhood and adolescence, that I don't know how my CD did not wear out. Like, I guess I played it to the point that there's just no way that I can go back to it and be like, yeah, yeah, I need to have that experience again. It's like all that there is to absorb from the experience of playing that game, I got it. But what I do enjoy doing from time to time is watching how other people play, like walkthroughs from other people, because sometimes they show me secrets that I didn't know, and pieces of cutscenes that you can unlock if you take your time or if you time something perfectly. But at some point, I exploited every possibility of anything in that game being new for me, you know? And if you wonder if I thought that the plot for MGS2 was confusing, yes, I did think it was confusing. But now, as a more relatively mature adult, I can say that I understand it better. And it's interesting. It's like Kojima was seeing in 2001 the stuff that was going to happen in like 15, 16, 10 years, whatever, from that time. So I thought that was impressive. He can see the future. Um, let's see. I got gameplay and Final Fantasy X on my channel. Samurai. All right, dude, you're gonna be my go-to person for Final Fantasy X. Okay, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt had the best soundtrack of all time. Just kidding. Have you heard of Bloodborne? I've heard of it, but I've never messed with it. A few streams anyway. I personally love 10 and 12 soundtracks. Oh, I actually have a sort of morbidly funny story about long gaming sessions. I had a really bad insomnia and was in the middle of a heat wave. Oh man. So I was playing MGS3 to pass the time, which you probably shouldn't do, not having slept for several days. Eventually, I found myself looking through my phone contacts in an attempt to contact Snake and warn him what was going to happen after like 10 seconds. I think, wait, what the hell am I doing? Oh, the 10-minute breaks carry over if you don't use them. So if you went for 6 hours straight, you could stop for an hour and it should still count. Huh, interesting. I cannot say that I have been sleep deprived like that. 2016 August, I went 8 days without sleeping. I couldn't tell you why. It could be the weather because for me, the colder it is, the better I sleep. But on those particular weeks that I couldn't sleep, I remember it being miserable outside. And I know something was happening in my personal life that was bothering me, but I can't really recall. But I do know that it was a combination of stress and the terrible weather that really got the best of me. But let me tell you, I feel like some of those nights I couldn't sleep because I was worried about not having slept. So I wasn't making my situation better. But that's the frustrating aspect of someone who's constantly anxious. Let's see. Is your video about a world without men your most liked viewed video? It has 2,000 likes, 65k views. I bet most of the likes came from MGTOW followers. You know, I have not even been paying attention to the analytics of that one, but the last time I noticed it, I was at 50k and 1,100 ish likes. So thanks for informing me. Wow, that's crazy. But yes, that is definitely my top hit, like the video that has gotten the most attention. And prior to that video, the one about my opinion on Serena Williams' engagement and interracial relationships had been getting the most attention, and then divided opinions. But the thing of it is that when I produced videos like that, I sincerely never thought that anyone would find them. So that is exactly how I feel. But at the same time, one of the frustrating aspects about the comments that I get is not even the trolls, it's not even the insults, it's not even the guys who say lame stuff. It's how people, within their own interpretation, they put words in my mouth, or they try to assume stuff about me and try to convince me of what my thoughts are when they don't know me. So sometimes I drop them a kind comment saying, I acknowledge your point of view, but you don't know me. So, like, someone was accusing me about what was it? Um, Something about how when I make a video, it seems like I make a lot of excuses about why my circumstances are the way they are. And I'm like, honey, you gotta understand that this, me making videos, is me sharing my thoughts as they happen. So on that July, I think 31st evening that I filmed the World Without Men one, I remember having read on Twitter some kind of trend about guys being useless. And I said to myself, you know what? If I think about it literally, that is a very strong statement to make. Because how can you accuse a whole group of people of being useless when only one person has frustrated you? Like, what I notice is that people's perception of a group of people change just from the actions of one person. I'm like, why, if you had a frustrating experience with one guy, why do you have to, oh, dang it, I'm frozen. But, anyways, why do you have to condemn the whole group over that? You know? So I said to myself, I don't want to perpetuate that because it is not true. I do not relate to that. Um, so for you to say that I need to watch myself with men because they are hurtful and damaging, I'm like, you speak for yourself. Because I have not had bad experiences with men. And even though my father was not in the picture, yes, he did affect my perception of men a little bit. But in my personal experience, I have had nothing but great experiences with guys. And I was beginning to feel like I should dislike them with without them having done anything to me. See what I mean? So basically, I was acting like, yeah, guys are bad and this and that without having a reason why. I was saying it because other people were saying it. I was saying it because my mother had a bad experience with my father. And therefore, I just assumed that that's the way it goes for every woman. You know? So I said to myself, no, 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 no. Excuse me. But until I have a bad experience and I can understand its root causes, I am not going to sit here and be like, yeah, all men are bad. No. We need men because, you know, the point of view that I was trying to express was men really get most of the tough things taken care of. And then people are saying that in my World Without Men video, I am saying that women are useless. And I'm like, don't put words on my mouth. I made that video about men. It says a world without men, not without women. And it doesn't say this is why men are better than women. It doesn't say that. Very clearly at the end, I said, I want to take a second to thank all of the men for all that they do. So I guess I should edit the title and say things that I'm grateful for that men do and why the world would be different without men. Something like that. But you know, it's that's what's been most frustrating about reading the comments in that video because I'm like, you don't need to tell me that women are well. You don't need to tell me that we're going to go extinct if men were out of the picture or if women were taken out, we're going to be extinct. I know that. That is obvious, but that is too simplistic. I wanted to express the things that I personally have observed about men that that make me be grateful for them. You know? So in that video, I am not trying to highlight the roles of men and women. I'm not trying to say that men are only good for being builders, etc. I'm just trying to take a second to be like, for the women out there, or just people in general out there who feel a certain type of way about men, be careful about what you wish for, because you haven't sat down and thought about this. When you said that you don't need men in your life, you are literally saying that you would not like the commodities that we currently have, because primarily men are the top contributors. Like, I have some people highlighting in the comments that they know a lot of female electricians, and I'm like, I know that women are capable of doing those jobs, but it is clear that they are opting for not doing those jobs, you know? And back in that time when I filmed that video, I had a limitation with how long I could make my video. Typically, I could safely make a video no longer than 10 minutes so that I could have space in my phone to upload it. But then I gathered enough people to where I could do streams. So now I can just talk my life away. And it really bothers me that I'm frozen. I'm sorry, guys. But but yeah, that has been it's been a great experience reading what you guys say on that video, and that you guys also have found me thanks to that video. But at the same time, I can't help but feel frustrated by how people put words in my mouth. You know, like, do you think I don't know beyond? And people also say that my scope is very limited, and I'm like, I know. The intention with this video is to just very briefly, and just to give a few highlights, you know, um, this is specifically immediately at the second what I am experiencing, which is my power is out. This is why I do not curse upon men, because right now I'm looking out my window and looking at the people working on restoring my power, and it's nothing but men. So thank you, those men, for being there. And Father's Day. It's definitely not as exciting of a holiday as Mother's Day, is it? Like, how much promotion does it get? Barely any. And it also really bothers me how women are like, why should we even celebrate Father's Day when are when are men fathers? And I'm like, excuse me? You mean this man who works 12, 15 hours to keep you comfortable, you think that's not a way of him being a father? Like, you know, what do you want? What do most women out there, what do they expect from a man for him to be deemed as a good father and a good husband? What? Maybe use your words and communicate that to your man, and maybe he'll understand you, but he'll probably have to disagree with you because it's his nature to be behaving the way he does. Maybe you shouldn't be dating if you cannot handle the fact that men are that way, you know? So I just urge everybody to just respect each other, and not take everyone for granted like that, you know? I know that I will never be able to match the labor of a man. So the least I can do is be respectful of that, acknowledge what they do, and appreciate it, you know? So, but anyways, you guys, I know that I ranted there for a bit, but I guess it's something that should be said, because sometimes I feel compelled to reply to some comments, and I'm like, you need to understand that I'm not trying to say that in this video I have the solution and the answers to everything. You know, like, I wasn't trying to be very technical in that video and very like scrutinizing it. You know, like, no, no, just just listen to me. If you agree or disagree, great. But it's as simple as I left it. But just because I left it that simple doesn't mean that that's all my mental capacity. You know? So, but anyways, I don't care. I put out whatever I want because I'm the star of the show. So if you like it, you like it. If you don't, then great. I'm not here to like please anybody or get popular. I do this because I enjoy it and I'm meeting great people. So, what else can I ask for? I am happy. That's her video with the most views. That is a great video. That's the video that brought me here. Yay! That was the video tab I saved open to view later. It was recommended on sidebar. MGTOW related videos. Oh man. Okay, so that's why I'm getting a lot of MGTOW guys. Some of them are saying nice stuff, but some others are saying something like, you just want the help and protection from men. You are making this nice video, but you're not being genuine. You're trying to portray yourself like you're different from other women to get attention. And I'm like, mother effer, I don't need attention. I'm not having a hard time finding men, all right? So, and it's not because of that video. So, what I mean by that is that I just know that people like me because I guess my personality is right. Um, I have good manners or something. I don't feel insecure. I don't need to produce a video to try to date because even if I found people interested in dating me because of that video, I'm sorry, but I cannot do online relationships nor long distance relationships. And how am I thinking about doing a relationship when I'm already in a relationship? You know? So I don't know. It's crazy because some people have like this radical mindset. It's crazy. And I'm over here just chilling and relaxing. But anyways, at the same time, I'm glad that I get comments like that go against my purpose because it helps me understand that not everyone interprets information in the same manner. And honestly, there's also the folks who just seem to want to flame people. And of course, if I'm the star of that video, then they're gonna try to come after me. And you gotta understand that you're never going to hurt my feelings. Like all the crying and the pain that I had to endure, I already went through that during my childhood and adolescence, all right? So, nothing, absolutely nothing that you can say unless it is a threat is going to make me, have my life altered. So I appreciate those great and kind comments and also the challenging ones that still remain um, mature and cool headed. But like I said, you either can make me or improve me. You cannot break me. Just know that. So I thought I would put that out there because, I'm confident in myself. So there I go. It's true here in modern North, I mean, it's true here in modern age North America, the strong hatred for the Anglo Celtic straight guys needs to be eased up on. We're human beings too, and we're not useless. Oh my God, yes. Tell me about this movement of, you know, now you have to somehow defend yourself for being straight sometimes. You see what I mean? Because you might be seen as someone who is never susceptible to like oppression or abuse. And I'm like, while it's true that I don't hear of people being discriminated against for being straight, but straight people don't have a perfect life? So it's crazy that sometimes you have to defend yourself for things like that. Just live your life, worry about your business. If nobody is being mean to you about your preferences, then why are you making a big deal about it? Sometimes you may accidentally trigger bad receptions from people because of your attitude. So if you're really confident about your preferences, then just live your life, but don't think that other people are having preconceived notions about you, because it's possible that people don't even notice that you're not straight. See what I mean? So when you have those insecurities, you're calling yourself out, and I don't think that looks nice. Anyways, I hope that made sense. I know I just rambled there. Captain Brandon, it's not just white men going through that, it's black men, Asian men, etc. He means generically. Yeah, when I read that, I interpreted that he would also be talking about everything in general. Feminism is destroying relationships in the Western Hemisphere. I can see that. And the thing about feminism is that it had its purpose, it had its objectives in the past, but we have definitely come a long way from the past. And something that doesn't get discussed often, or at least not often enough to where I can stumble upon it on my personal time, you know, let's say the issue of pregnancy and guys having a say on it or not. When do guys have a say over whether a baby gets to stay or be erased, to name it something? You know, when are women considerate of the feelings of the guy? It's always, this is my body, so I need to be able to wear anything. Who is telling you don't wear that? If people make comments about, say, your body shape, then I don't know, maybe they're trying to tell you that you should try a different style because people just like to recommend things. But like I said, if you're confident about what you are wearing, then just wear it. But if you are picking an outfit and you know it's going to get people talking, try to avoid it. I mean, it's kind of wrong that you have to think about that ahead of time and be like, I'm not gonna wear this top because it's too revealing and I'm going to be judged for this and that. It shouldn't have to be that way, but let's face it, people will talk. So if you want to avoid that, then don't wear it. See what I mean? I know I skipped there. I saw the timer freezing, so I hope that um, you guys got to hear what I said. But anyways, um, but yeah, guys, I just until we start talking literally on equal terms about the decisions that guys can make or not, then I cannot say that I can side with the feminism stuff because I always told my boyfriend in the event that somehow we accidentally end up expecting and we're not ready for it. That's why I call it accidentally. Then, I want you to know that you can talk with me and we will mutually come to an accord. Like, this is not a single person's decision. Like, it took both of us to make this happen. So both of us need to arrive at a consensus. And I'm someone who you can talk sense to. So if he's not ready for it, I'll respect him for it. Um, and if I were ready and he isn't ready, then I'm like, okay, more than likely, I will probably bend my wish because he'll probably talk sense to me. Like, all right, honey, I know that you want the baby, but remember that it's not convenient right now because this and this and that. And I'm like, you know what, honey, you're right. So, yeah, you're right. So we need to, you know, erase the product somehow. But I like for the guy to have a say because he gives me my place whenever we are deciding on plans. Like, do you want to go to place A or place B? Or how do you feel about us going to this and that? If he is considerate of me, why shouldn't I be considerate of him? It's a two-way street. So maybe for that reason, I am likable. I'm not saying perfect. Sometimes I'm irrational. But like I said, just give me time. And I usually reason stuff on my own time. And I'm like, you know what? I acted stupid. I'm sorry. Here, let's do the right thing. I saw a female doctor show stats that said over 50% of married women are talking to other guys as a backup plan in case they want to trade for something else. A lot of men feel unwanted now. See, this is the stuff that no one is talking about. Like, I can see why women do that because they something about having an adventure and playing with fire and doing dangerous things is exciting. But for me, I can't be that way. If I interact with a guy, I'm like, hey, I am hanging out with a friend. This guy is a friend. These are the matters that we discuss. Are you okay with that? Sometimes I go as far as consulting him about videos that I make. I'm like, hey, I have this idea for a video. Like my video of my hair tease, there are some of you out there who are really fans of my hair. So if I'm having a particularly good hair day, I like to show that off. So I'm like, honey, I have this idea for a video, and it's kind of me being a model. And you know that my audience is primarily male. Are you okay with that? Because I wouldn't like for you to associate me as someone who's trying to provoke other men. You see what I mean? So although nothing is gonna happen because they cannot jump from the screen and like touch me or something, nothing like that. But I want you to know that even though this channel is mine and I'm producing stuff, I still have my morals and values and virtues. So I'm not sure how you will react to this. Do you see the artistic aspect of it? Or would you rather me not do that because you have a concern about me and the message that I may be delivering, because it's possible. It's possible that it's more harmful than good. To me, I look at it as a fun project, but he may look at it as potentially dangerous. I want for him to know that he can tell me that. He has a say over what I do, like not in a controlling way, but he can voice that to me, and I will be appreciative of him. So when he said, I mean, it's all right, it's cool, I don't see a problem with it, I was like, thanks so much, because I like knowing that I have your support and I'm glad that I'm not bothering you in any way. But if I have my doubts, I'll be asking you. So, anyways, I thought I would share that with you guys. Building, repairing skyscrapers, houses, plumbing, electrical roofs, concrete, mechanical garbage, farming, whether it's 0 degrees or 100 degrees. And see, that's the thing. I think women now feel compelled to prove that they're tough too. But I'm like, if you want to do those jobs, do it because you're interested in the field, not because you just want to prove that your pants are tight too. Like what I mean by that is that you have guts. Nobody ever said women don't have guts. That's something that you're making up in your head. If you feel inferior, it's because it's in your head. But if you have had a man tell you, look at that, a woman who cannot open a jar, then, I mean, I don't know. I don't have time to be offended by that. I would look at it as, well, Superman, since you're here and you see me struggling, how about if you help me? But I feel like men don't ever give me comments like that because I am never belittling them. I'm never insulting them. I'm always trying to address everyone with respect. And I say try to because I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those people who I have a friend or many friends who I greet with an insult. But I think everyone has that. You have your squad and you act that way. So so I'm one of those people. I'm perfectly normal, just like all of you guys. I just have different views and opinions, just like all of you guys. And we may agree on some things and we're going to disagree on some things, but we still have harmony amongst each other. But in relationships nowadays, I feel like people are obsessed with having control. And I'm like, no, you need to find a mutual ground where you can stand in and be confident. It's upsetting that so many women take for granted working in a cushy computer chair with heating and air. They want they want the CEO jobs, but none of those are hard jobs. Yep, plus even pest extermination, much better handling of retail, owning businesses and buildings, theater management, restaurant, general management, etc. Men took what you said as a positive because they do most of these jobs and acknowledge that. They appreciate what you said and how it allows you to have the life you want. And you see, guys, part of the thing that makes me so grateful for you guys finding me and leaving your comments in that video is that had it not been like that, I wouldn't have gotten opinions from strangers, people outside my circle of friends. Because I feel like in my circle of friends, everyone is going to feel compelled to tell me nice things and positive things. But when I get strangers telling me that they agree and they feel where I'm coming from and they are grateful for what I'm saying, I'm like, oh, I must be in the right path in life. You know, like I said, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but if thousands of people can leave a comment saying, hey, this was a much needed video, this was a much needed message, I'm like, something is majorly wrong. Because I have a lot of people expressing frustrations. Like what I am saying is true. Not for everybody, because not everybody out there is an a hole. But unfortunately, yeah, this is far more common than I thought. So I am glad that at least I put my point of view out there and that you guys also taught me things that I would have never considered. Like, I did not think that it was that men are designed to take jobs like that. Like, you guys say that you don't mind those dangerous jobs because you have an objective, you have a purpose, you have the determination, and you are fit for it. I never thought about that. I thought that it was just the man thing to do, that it was just the expectation and solely that. Um, but you guys, most of you say that you do it because you really want to make people happy. I thought, wow, I genuinely thought that you walk into your job only because you need to make a living. I never thought that you were guided by some level of emotion. No one ever talks about the emotions that guys have. Like it's looked at as guys who show emotion are weak. And I'm like, excuse me? Emotions are something very human. It should be promoted that guys embrace themselves for how they are. But we're sitting over here trying to water down the male instinct. Why? That makes zero sense to me. None of the advancements that we currently enjoy would have been possible if men would have gotten watered down like that. See what I mean? So, so is it devastating that I cannot have guys be like girlfriends who understand about me feeling emotional? Yeah, because, it would be great to be comforted by a guy on the emotional level. But if they're not designed to do it, then they're not. Period. Just get over it, learn how to deal with it, move on with your life, and appreciate him for the other ways that he shows that he cares. He still goes to work, he still gets you stuff, he still takes you out on dates, he still calls you, texts you, lives with you, so I think people impose too many unrealistic expectations on other people, and when they don't see them fulfilled, then they try to make the partner feel like they are less than anything. And I'm like, what? Excuse me? No, no. Need to take a water break. Let's see. Where did I stop? Men took what you said as positive. I read that. That's your best feature, you sharing your thoughts, views openly, and you always draw on your experiences. Watching one of your videos for the first time stopped me in my tracks. Really? That's a big compliment. Thanks a lot. And that rain of positive comments that I get, it's been an incredibly humbling experience because I'm not gonna lie, I have had my confidence issues since forever. But I want to say 2 years ago, I became so much better. But by the end of last year, 2017, something just happened to me to where I just transformed overnight. And I was like, you know what? I'll never allow myself to be my own worst enemy. If I have made it this far, I'm okay, So let me just keep getting better. And the best way to go about that is to let others guide me when I get lost. So it's okay to admit that you don't know everything and that you're not the strongest in the group or the smartest or the funniest, but just be yourself. But whatever you do, don't lie and just be confident. Just be confident. Okay, where did I stop? Uh, Okay, I read that. I read that. Exactly, capable but don't want to, and even say masculinity like it's bad, meaning boys are growing up to not learn that stuff. Oh my god. Okay, so I had someone tell me that even, what is it, anything that remotely resembles a masculine conduct is really being cursed upon. And I'm like, what? Just what is this? This is no longer a feminism issue. This is a female supremacy issue. And that's the thing. I, as a woman, have not ever felt inferior just because I am a woman. If I want to strive to be better at something, then I put in the work that it takes. I don't ask for privilege. I don't ask for something to just be given to me because I'm weaker or because I'm smaller or whatever. I admit that, when it comes to math, I am really slow at it. So I cannot expect to have an accountant career and be, you know, banging with business when I am not good with numbers. You know, just figure out what you're good at and exploit it. It's so simple, but women are asking sometimes to just be given a pass just because they are a woman. Like when I was in school, I was being told by a lot of my teachers, oh, it's great that you're a girl and you're interested in science. There's not a lot of girls in the science field. And I'm like, I never thought to question that. I knew for a fact that that was true, but I'm like, why did they say that? And now I wonder if they said that because we need to take over the science fields, Like girls need to step it up. And I'm like, if girls don't find that appealing, then they don't have to. I mean, the reason I like science is because it's fun, fascinating. It can help me answer questions about life. But if I'm not good at calculating stuff to be a meteorologist, then I'm not good for it, but I'm not going to be butthurt about it. I'm just going to be like, I know stuff about meteorology, but I'm not qualified to have big opinions, or change the world with some information. I just embrace myself for who I am and how I am. So, unfortunately, as much as I love science, a career in science is not what's best for me because I'm just not designed to take information like that. What can I say? If I'm not good with numbers, then I'm not going to just forcibly try to make myself good at numbers. Like, I respect my weakness, and if I can get better at it with work, then I will get better at it, but I cannot expect for it to be as comfortable as driving, you know? So I learned my limit. put it that way. So when I saw that no matter how much effort I was putting into something, I just wasn't getting it, I looked at it as okay, it's frustrating, but my life won't end here. There's plenty of other stuff for me to do that I'll find interesting, but I don't have to feel inferior just because I'm not good with numbers. So I'm gonna somehow try to bullshit my way to success. No, no. I want to earn stuff on merit. Plus, us men help to better entertain the North American continent and the world. I mean, we do. The NFL, NHL, baseball leagues, NBA, pro wrestling, entertainment, etc. Yeah, you're right. And now, somehow, they're trying to integrate females into everything. Like, remember when they had ladies' matches in wrestling? And remember how they're having a division for females in MMA and junk? I mean, once again, I'm not saying women shouldn't do this. I'm just saying that they should pursue it because they want to, because they genuinely care and want to, not because they want to be superior. Um, like, you guys ever hear about superheroes that get changed from male roles to female roles for no reason? Mother effer, if you really wanted a female hero, how about you create it, you write it? But do not tell me that Thor now all of a sudden has to be female. Why? There is no reason to. If you want a female goddess of thunder, write her. Call her Thundera or something. But don't be like, oh, Marvel in the Thor saga needs to have more females implemented. Thor is not the story of a female, it's the story of a male. you know See what I'm saying? So I don't like that something that already has its history established needs to be altered to accommodate the woman. See, that's what gets irritating for me, because now somehow I have to accept that Thor is a woman, you know? So hopefully I'm getting this right. Thor is originally male and then got turned to female, or had an episode where he became female. But it's something like that. It's like they're trying to create female versions of things. And on Twitter, there was a time where something was trending. I think Idris Elba said that he would like to see a female James Bond. And I'm like, James Bond is the story of a male character. If you want a female spy, then write a female spy, but do not integrate Mrs. Jamie Bond when that's not a thing. Make it a thing and then implement it along with James Bond. But do not dethrone James Bond to fill in the female agenda. See what I mean? Like, this has to have a limit. This is getting out of control. Entertainment was actually added so we focus on stuff that doesn't matter while the elite do things behind the scenes. Oh yeah, that's a complete story of its own. I should really do a video on that, but I haven't gotten my mind together on it. Athletes making millions with a ball while people who build it make it little. But you see, that's the thing. Advertising, marketing, that's what makes money flow to some places more than others. Because I wonder that. I'm like, how is it that athletes, they're just playing a game? They are not shaping society in any way. But yet, they're living way better than I ever will. How does that happen? So I think if you can do something about promoting something or owning something, like the idea of something, copywriting something, then that's how you become financially rewarded. See what I mean? It's like make an invention, or sorry, is that the right way to say it? Create something? Yeah. Invent something that people will need constantly, and you'll have a flow of money forever. So, like food. Start a restaurant that is kind of rare in your area, but popular. Let's say that somehow you live in a town where there is no, I don't know, Asian food or no Italian food. Create that business, and people are always going to be hungry, so they're always going to be coming to you. So people will always be bored, so they will look for entertainment. Sports are entertaining because the elite know that people like to be relaxed more than working. They will reward and anything that can get a big audience. See what I mean? I hope that made sense. Let's see, where did I stop? Um, it really bothers me that I've been frozen for 40 minutes. I'm sorry, guys. There's just nothing that I can do about it. I would have to exit the stream and start again. And no offense, but that's not cool. I like for this to just wrap everything up. Roman circus. The people are restless. Throw some people to lions for entertainment. Oh my god. That would be like, wasn't there a time in human history when gladiators were a thing? Yeah. Or is that a fictional work? I don't think that's fiction. I feel like that legitimately happened. See, that's why I don't like to read fiction or watch movies that are fictional, because then I cannot distinguish what historically happened and what was made up. um, let's see. Us men trained to wrestle, to baseball, football, and also general management, and to be coaches and build teachers. Sorry, and to be coaches and teachers, and yes, to build, etc. We don't need athletes with $100 million contracts while the country is 20 trillion in debt. At least I don't think so. Mushrooms. I am so glad that you mentioned um, the deficit, because I emailed a very knowledgeable friend last night and I was asking him, can you help a sister out? I don't understand the deficit matter. And I was trying to gather info to get my mind together and make a video about it. So I am not ready to make a video out of that, but it's coming because I think it's something that should be discussed. And because it's something that that I am super dumb at, I think I want to put it out there so that you guys can hopefully start commenting and just helping a sister out, getting educated about it. See, the thing about me and things that I'm not good at is I wish that I was still in school, because in school they would take you through the baby steps and give you the building blocks so that you can expand on the topic. But when I am trying to do independent learning, it's like, okay, my question is, what is the national deficit? And then you get the definition. And then you try to find the history of it. Like, how did we get into this deficit? And then, of course, you get the history of the deficit. But then you also get the information of why the deficit is so high in modern days. So the information becomes too scattered for me to be able to process. So that's why I'm like, let me sit down with someone and have a conversation, and they can give me the elements that I need to look up so that I can get my mind together and be engaged, as opposed to getting frustrated that my information is scattered and then give up on the topic and never learn about it. Does that make sense? I like to be a responsible learner. I don't want to just spend time on something and be like, meh. You know, if I learn about something, it's because it will be useful for me. So, so yeah, give me time. I am sure that I'll make it an interesting topic, because I think we really should discuss the deficit, since it affects us so much as a society. Yeah, but it used to be for kids. They decided to build arenas and have adults to do it, waste their time. The best athletes doing nothing with it. Yeah, I always wondered what's the purpose of having um, child athletes nowadays if adults get the pay for it, Like, why don't athletes in school get paid? And don't mention scholarships. I mean, actual getting paid, you know? So, true athletes and enter, entertainers, I'm sorry, are very overpaid. I respect that and actually agree. It's just that us men do it while women cannot normally have these abilities. I agree with that. Women athletics aren't good. See, if someone read that you said that, you would be getting toe up right now. But I mean, it's true. I personally don't watch female athlete, athletes, and it's for two reasons. A, I don't find it as entertaining. Like, it tends to be a watered down version of what I know the action could be. And second, I ain't trying to watch no women. I'm trying to watch me some men, the muscles, bulky guys, and, that sweat and hard work, months of, building up to have them gains. And, like, I want to see me some men. So that'll probably sound like I have something against women. I don't. And oh, that reminds me, something that I've been getting attacked for in the comments of the men video is you don't have any female friends? Gee, have you ever stopped and wondered why? And I'm like, yes, because the matters that I discuss are not the matters that they're interested in. They are interested in what happens in The Bachelor or what happens in what's the other bullshit show? Wives, something about wives. And I'm not. I don't watch TV. I don't watch movies. I don't waste my time like that. I am trying to know about what happens in my community so that I know how to live a better quality life independently, okay? Like, I have my man in my life and everything, but my survival is my work and also my mother's support, you know? So, a lot of things that I know about politics and stuff, my mother doesn't know about. So, if my mom doesn't know about it and she is a teacher and has a degree, imagine yours. Like, what is your mother doing? So, I think that we need to tone it down with the entertainment and actually spend time getting informed on the matters that affect us, especially financially. I have goals. I want a family. I want kids. And that stuff costs money. Watching The Bachelor is not going to help me get there. What's so hard to comprehend about that? Is that really that much of a radical idea of mine? I am impressed by athletes, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, even female athletes, they're all impressive. Like, no matter what you do, any sport that you play, I admire you because you're better than me. You have discipline already. So I'll admire them no matter what. But I cannot breathe off athletes. Like, I have to keep it real. I need to work on my stuff personally. I think refs interfere with outcomes, unfortunately, with sports anymore. I don't believe Donaghy, Donagai. Clearly, I don't know who that is. Was alone. Yeah, the WNBA is pathetic. Also, we need things like sports, stores, actors, commentators, and the like to help the world not be so bored. They rank UMPS, umps, and refs. They send out certain crews for certain games to alter outcome. Singers to men are just great songwriters and musicians as well. I remember I knew someone who absolutely did not listen to any male singers. And I'm like, why? Now, if you were to ask me which voice do I prefer, a female or male singer, to this day, I am not sure. But I personally like to listen to female singers more so that I can practice my vocalizations. But literally, I listen more to male singers than female singers. Um, like if I look at my collection of music, I have more songs by men than female. It's just the way I am. Something about the male voice is just more intriguing for me. Um, but there are some great female singers. Like I wish that I could hit really, really, really high notes. Like I felt that as a teen, I had kind of a deep voice, but somehow I did not have so much of a meaty voice anymore, which is good. But my music teacher said that I'm a mezzo soprano and I am, excuse me? Like I can hardly go like a octave above middle C. What's that next? Uh like C4 is it? I forget. um so I'm like, how can I be a mezzo soprano? But then we were doing some chorus stuff and then I saw why she said that I was a mezzo. But honestly, I think my voice is more in the middle now, like more distinguishable. But my voice was actually so deep that my teacher would assign me tenor parts sometimes because there were only four boys in our class of 23 people. How many people were in that class? Let's say 20. Just to be on the safe side. Actors are used against us, though the diamond industry paid them to make wedding rings a thing. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Yeah, I don't believe in diamonds. So, if I were to get a wedding ring, what I would like is a wedding band. Like those rings that are flat, I love those. Most of these musicians claim they didn't come up with the music, it was given to them by the devil. I wish I were joking, but it's messed up. I did hear about it. Yeah, they are associated with the Illuminati. Miley Cyrus and Katy Perry are destroying the world. Anybody out there? Has anybody listened to the song I'm Destroying the World by Guttermouth? If someone has, then we're gonna be really good friends. I love that song. And I've never met someone who likes Guttermouth like that. So maybe I'm just weird. But if one of you guys know which song I'm talking about, I swear you're going to be like really tight with me. Well, I don't believe in conspiracy theories, so to each their own. Men write great songs, not some entity. You see, this is a very interesting topic that I promise you I also have a pending video for. And I concluded one of my videos recently with that, which is where does imagination come from? For me personally, I do believe in some conspiracy theories only because some have turned out to be true. And also, we get so lied to constantly. So, what's to keep, the folks who we are supposed to be trusting from lying to us? So, I think we should all look at everything with a certain degree of doubt. It's important because, that makes you less susceptible to being gullible. But I do believe that when a conspiracy theory surfaces, it's because someone has noticed details that are too important to let them fly under the radar, you know? So when it comes to music, I do think that there is such thing as you looking at nature or someone saying just the right thing and you get inspired. But to say that everything in life comes from the devil, it's too much for me. Because I used to attempt to write music. I could write the poem for it, but because I don't have musical training, I didn't know how to, create a time signature or assign the time signature for it and whatever. But I used to write poems, and I don't believe that I'm part of a satanic cult in any way. So, yeah, yeah. Kardashians, women think that's a lifestyle to live up to. I think this is the first time ever that I mentioned the Kardashians on this channel. So let's talk about them. Yes, I see what you're saying, mushrooms, because you ever notice women makeup nowadays? They have that freaking habit of shaving their eyebrows off to draw them in, or shave them really, 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 really thin to draw them in. And they also have like extensions straighten their hair and try to tighten it to sort of resemble Kim's style. I'm like, why can you not do something because you feel the impulse to do it? Why do you stay on top of fashion like that? You know what I mean? I just can't be that way. I can't do that. It's boring for me, and it is so time consuming and money consuming, money that I don't have. And even if I had it, I don't feel like spending it in that manner. So, and this is why I criticize that habit of women. A lot of these women complain that they don't have a lot of money. So, you don't have a lot of money because you're spending it on things that aren't unnecessary, that are unnecessary. So, you have to borrow money from people that you'll never pay back. And you also have to bother men too. You get desperate if you're single. You're like, I want a man in my life so that they can maintain you. And you expect for them to treat you like a celebrity when they don't have celebrity money. And they are humans too. They need to eat, they need clothes, they need gas money. They need the same things that you need. Need, not want, such as makeup and fancy clothes, etc. See where I'm going to? I don't want to dwell on that topic too much because it it just yeah, it triggers me. But I also think it deserves a video on its own. But I have so many video ideas, guys. It's just that there's not enough time in the day for me. And also, sometimes my mind is not organized with it. And I like for me to make a video that has substance to it, not be. Sometimes I get lost in the middle of my rambling, but I like to minimize that, you know? So, let's see. Sometimes, sometimes not. Entertainment was made for propaganda, not entertainment. Sometimes, sometimes not. You have a good point. You have a good point. How many women don't wear makeup? I don't. I don't. Do I count? Different lipstick colors, different eyeshadows. They look different every day they go out. Oh my God. Yes. Like, yes. Sometimes I struggle with a decision as what to wear. So imagine having a palette with all those colors. I'm only designed to process so many colors when I am coloring a drawing, you know, not thinking about how to color my face. And not only that, what women don't ever talk about is that makeup in your face does not feel good. Like, you know, you ever feel your hands really, really like dusty or powdery? Or say that somehow you're handling glazed donuts or powdered donuts or something, and some of it lands on your arm. You rinse that shit off immediately, don't you? Well, imagine that on your face. in your whole surface area of your face, for hours, exposed to the elements. Your glands are trying to sweat, but they can't. Try to imagine how that feels. You cannot tell me that that's a comfortable way to live. This new script went through the Pentagon, and Walt was informant with his best friend who was head of the FBI. These are facts. Club 33 Freemason. Anyways, I gotta go for a bit. Take it easy. Well, it was nice to see you here. And speaking of Walt, I heard a theory that his body is supposedly preserved in the what part of the park is it? I forget. But I want to say that I don't believe in that, but modern days, modern technology, to me, nothing is too far fetched, you know? um, Amen, Zoom, speak the truth. Also, look into Jack Parsons of NASA, Satanist with Alistair Crowley. Anytime I don't know how to say a word, I just Frenchify it. And buddies with L. Ron Hubbard and Werner von Braun. Come on, I should know how to say that because I've heard that, but I just can't. Werner von Braun. Sorry, I gave up. First head of NASA was a Nazi. His tombstone says Psalms 19, verse 19. No, wait. Chapter 19, verse 1. Look it up. Frozen in time, the screen is, yeah, I'm sorry. But at least the sound is there, because sometimes you guys tell me that the sound is not. Screen has frozen, but still enjoying what you're saying. Okay, so not just me, I just got here. Nah, it's not just you, Rogue. I froze some 40 minutes ago. Some, if not all, of your male viewers find you attractive, and your boyfriend has to be strong or not his choice. Well, yeah, and did I ask for my viewers to be male? No. But guess what? My audience is male because males are concerned about the same topics that I am concerned about. So it is logical that I will have a greater male audience. Am I complaining about that? No. It's just that we have common interests. What is wrong with that? So, you know, I don't know. I look at it as a blessing because I get to interact with people who are not wasting my time. See what I'm saying? So, anyways, um, great way to run a channel, create content that makes you happy. I'm sure your boyfriend would be supportive. He is. He is. Feminism, feminism was created so the wealthy could tax the other half of the population. Before in the USA, only the father had to go to work. You know what else is something people don't mention? I feel like I mentioned this in another video, but no one ever talks about the fact that women who owned property could vote before some men could. Control seems like the name of the game these days. The stream is frozen to me. I hear but don't see. I'm sorry. It's frozen for everyone. Yeah, it's frozen for everyone. Feminism was funded by big bankers. Dragon Age comes. The dragon. Dragon Ball Z. We are from Sparta. We don't have time for emotions because it seems as a weakness. They needed more taxes, so what better way to promote women not to have children and to show women can become CEOs by saying they can do no wrong? I think feminism, like most things, has people on both sides that take is too far. The term toxic masculinity doesn't mean all masculinity is toxic. It just means that there are certain expectations of men and masculine conduct that aren't healthy for men or women. And I need to take another water break because I be dry. Mm-hmm. We go to work to get paid, to buy stuff, to attract females, to create a family, to take care of it. These days, females want all your money. Doesn't matter how much you make, it's never enough. Tell me about it. And in addition, it's crazy that if you want to date or be in a relationship, normally the guy has to pick the lady up. And then say that the women don't get picked up. They start, what can I say? They expect that from you. I'm like, if you're interested in a guy, how about if you make the moves too? You know, because I'm sure that nothing will scream a huge compliment to a guy than to find out that a girl is trying to pick him up. You know, am I right? I mean, I'm not a guy, so I can't know. I'm trying to imagine it. But I would imagine that for you guys, it takes a lot of courage to ask someone out sometimes. Like, you fear rejection. So imagine being on the receiving end, you know. Um, yeah, it's crazy. I feel like men are looked at as having no value. Like, remember the Titanic, women and children first? It's like, how about as many humans as we can safely shove into this boat come in? But the Titanic also has some shady stuff behind it, so that's topic for another day. The female Thor isn't the same person as Jane Foster, I think. She somehow inherited his powers, not a big comic reader, but that's what I think happened. Oh, really? Huh, I had no idea. Is not every Transformer about a big boot, big eye Megan Fox copy? It's all I remember from those movies. You know, I have never seen a Transformers movie. These days, it's rare to get real food. All these chemically bastardizes and GMOs are hidden in everything. Yes, tell me about it. As much as I love entertaining myself, I really feel like the overabundance of entertainment now is sort of distracting us from discussing what's really going on in our society. And Mr. Sporterman, even though your name is Mr. Man, I see Spider Man. That's what I am here for, to discuss the things that people normally don't discuss. So let's learn together. I swear, isn't that what I posted in my channel? I feel like that's what I wrote on my bio. Something about discussing things that I feel should be discussed more often. Let's learn together. It's been 2 years, guys. So remember the ancient Rome, bread and games was their motto to distract citizens. That is true. I have to go now. I have obligations I'm no longer enthusiastic about to keep. Wait. Oh, see you soon. See ya, Ollie. Even though you said that about half an hour ago. Not a good look. To make it entertaining industry, you need to know and have a good agent who knows people. Otherwise, no matter how much talent you have, you will not make it. Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, I have a friend who is into acting, and he's always talking about his agent. Same goes for tattoos, fancy clothes, and purse puppies. I've always pursued women who didn't need to wear makeup. So basically, women wear riggeds on face. Yeah, that. Men like to protect their sexuality and imagine that women behave the same way that they would if they were in their female shoes. Men aren't women and they function slightly different than men do. Men are women and they function slightly different than men do. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's true. I am only able to pick up 125 pounds maximum. Interesting that you mentioned that because I've been trying to pay attention to what I do at the gym and it's kind of pitiful. Maybe someday I'll try to like maybe take some footage somehow. But yeah, I would definitely be comfortable saying that I'm stronger than the average woman, but not by that much. Oh my god, Sam, I wouldn't have died in that cold water when we got real hot in that car on the Titanic. Women, would have had to scoot over on that floating door or whatever it was. And you have a right to do that because you are in survival mode. If you want to conserve what is considered chivalry and hand over the door for a lady who probably doesn't even deserve to live because she's going to be mean to men anyway, then you have a right to behave. But in a survival situation, I think all manners can go to hell, and you just gotta worry about yourself, you know? But some people are selfless like that, and it's okay. I think you shouldn't condemn someone who is thinking about themselves in a situation like that, You're scared. You have a right to life just like everyone does. So in a survival situation, I would expect my boyfriend to help me, but I don't expect for him to sacrifice himself for me unless he just really absolutely wants to and really wants me to somehow make it alive. But it's crazy. I'm always trying to look after him. Like when we go to the gym, I try to have his jacket ready because he sweats like crazy. He is a waterfall of sweat. So I'm like, okay, while you take your vest off, let me find your jacket and straighten it out and hold it open for you. And there you go. I feel no shame in like helping. So we're just there for one another. Let's see. Titanic killed Jack when the wooden board was big enough to fit both of them. But I mean the buoyancy of that board, could it really have held both of them? Because I feel like it would have become unstable of an object to hold humans. Like, you ever try to stand on a skateboard from the end of it as opposed to placing your foot on the middle or at the front end of the board? It becomes kind of, temperamental, doesn't it? Unless you're skilled. So that's what I think would have happened with the door. You would try to slide into it, but it would either sink and then sort of like shift to the side, or but yeah, I don't think it could fit both of them, honestly. Hey, I stopped dating. Not worth it, too expensive. Last time I was even turned on when I asked myself out. That hurt the most. Men always imagine and hope that an attractive woman might be single and waiting for them to sweep them off their feet. You see, doesn't that kind of suck though? Because normally the attractive women are taken. Not always, but normally. And if they are not taken, then they're not interested. So it's kind of a lose lose situation for you. Survival mode is tested in haunted attractions. I've heard of that, especially the ones that are interactive and require you to solve a few puzzles to escape. All right, guys, judging by that last comment, it is close to 2 or maybe 2 o'clock. I think this is a good stopping place for today because, to tell you the truth, I have not eaten anything since this morning. Okay, are you for real? And if so, are there more of you out there? Rare breed of women these days. I, what? Digress? Digress? Disagrees? Something, something. Anyways, well, I mean, what can I say, guys? I don't think I'm one of a kind like that. I'm sure that there are more women out there like me. It's just that maybe the women who bark a lot from a feminist perspective think like me, but they feel like they have to join the bandwagon so that they don't have to experience the stress and wrath of other women. But But I don't think that it's impossible to find someone who sort of behaves and thinks like me. I think this person, though, this woman, she needs to be confident and no matter what, stand by her values and demonstrate it. How did I do that? I don't know. It's probably determination, but yeah, guys, please don't give up your hopes on everyone. I know that it's a crazy world out there. People's minds are twisted. Some people are just flat out brainwashed. And, some people are being literally poisoned. So, with that in mind, try to cut people a little bit of slack. Like, you know how our food is poisoned? It's like some people can only afford the bad quality stuff. At least they're eating. Everyone would love to eat the best things, but that's not available for everyone. So when you have a family and you have to feed yourself and you know, you need to make wonders with whatever little bit you have. So, but but I mean, I do believe that there's more women like this out there. They just gotta make themselves be seen, promote themselves. So, but yeah, to those of you who have literally given up on dating, I can't blame you. But I would hope that if you find a woman who seems to be of, let's call it, good quality, and she expresses interest in you, just give the opportunity to them. I think it's worth it. As someone who has had great relationship experiences, I think it's worth it. So, yeah, that's really it. Later, Zam, you beautiful woman. Thanks so much for the compliment. I appreciate it. I ordered me an Asian bride, but she suffocated in the mail office. Oh, confidence, that is what you have. It's attractive to all. Thanks a lot. All right, guys, I am bailing now, and I am sorry that I froze, but it was kind of out of my control. But, anyways, I had a lot of fun during the stream. It was great to listen to you guys and for you guys to just, trigger some thoughts and offer some music to check out because I love to check out new music. So yeah. Anyways, until next time, and you can count on me live streaming prolonged like this again soon enough. I'll be sure to announce it. So, anyways, peace, y'all.